Hey, what's up my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their ascension process. And today is going to be a weekend ascension energy update for November 10th. And tomorrow I will be back on 11/11 for a special update. You can look forward to that as well. Before I get into this discussion, I just want to preface this update by saying that things are looking good. A lot of good things are happening now. I won't go into any more detail. I'll get into the different themes. I always break it down, the energy updates, into a few different themes that can help kind of clarify what I'm trying to convey to you in a way that you can grasp and benefit from. Number one, you might notice an awakening of your own discernment. Discernment, the ability to see more clearly the differentiation between you and the wounded ego structure. I know a lot of people, they report to me kind of in a panicky state, which I can totally get and understand and have been through, when they start to see their fears and their ego patterns projected and manifested in physical reality, either in circumstances unfolding that you can tell is tied to some sort of dysfunction that you've yet to heal, or sometimes we get sort of paranoid and negative types of synchronicities. The same way we can see 11/11 a million times in a day, we can have that same pattern play out in a way that's sort of bringing and invoking a state of restlessness and fear. Like there's something inside of us that we can't really heal, and yet it's still influencing our life, and that's kind of an unsettling idea. But you're getting so awake now that it's becoming easier to not be seduced by the fearful notions presented by your ego mind. And within that is just such an abundance of liberation and freedom that it cannot be successfully put into words. You're not as bound to the dysfunctional egoic self as you think. And those are just words. You might start to experience that. Number two, some pretty big and profound manifestations are certainly, it's ripe for that right now. There's a great potential for that. But you're going to have to do it the new way. What does that mean, the new way? The new way is it's sort of the new fourth density way of manifesting. Meaning, follow your excitement, follow your joy, go with the flow of where the energy is trying to guide you. That sounds wacky to say, but you all know what I mean. You can trust that. But do not concern yourself of the how. Sometimes we get pulled in varying directions that don't initially make sense to our logical minds, and we can get excited about something, but then if we allow our mind to kind of chime in too long, we start questioning, well, is this even possible? How is this going to be? Well, I have this factor that's playing in that's going to obviously prevent me from getting there, so now I've taken myself out of that excitement state, which you need to be in to manifest that what you want. And now I'm concerned and worried, and that ego was kind of taking me back over. So here's the whole thing. You don't have to worry about how. All those factors, you don't have to concern yourself about those right now, because you'll know how to deal with them when you actually need to deal with them. When the time is actually right for you to address them, you will, and there'll be other sources, there'll be other information that illuminate the situation. And you just don't need to have that specific of foresight. All you need to know is what you want, and that because you want it, you can get it. But you got to let go of the how. That's not your job. That's your higher self's job, and it will always deliver. Thirdly, don't settle. Sometimes on the way to manifestation, we get manifestations that are similar to what we want, but don't quite have that wow factor. They don't quite have that resonance. But it's like, wow, I don't want to miss this. This is not bad. Maybe, okay, I guess this is what the universe had in mind for me. No, don't settle. You'll know it's right when your mind is blown. When you're like, when you just can't contain yourself because it's, oh my God, it's there. I can't believe it. you can apply this to a soulmate, a partner, you're moving, a new job, anything. Don't settle for anything that does not possess that same quality of resonance. That's what you deserve, and that's what is trying to wedge into your life. And sometimes we just have to sift through non-ideal manifestations on the road to getting that. But be patient and don't settle. A lot of times when big manifestations are on the horizon, you'll feel guided internally from your inner being in some synchronistic sort of way to start maybe tying up loose ends. I know someone I was talking to yesterday, and she said, I've been feeling like I should finalize this divorce. It's just sitting there. They're separated. They don't have all that much contact. It's just a signature on a piece of paper, but there's energetic weight to loose ends that are not tied up. And a lot of times, even though it doesn't seem like it makes sense, like, well, I could go over here and I could do this later, for whatever reason, I've just learned in my own journey that the energy doesn't seem, at least to me, to work that way. It prefers you to commit fully and don't have one foot in the future and one foot in the past, because then you're spread out and you want to be fully present in your future pursuits. So if you feel that nudge to do something as far as tying up a loose end, and even though it's going to be maybe a pain in the ass, and it's like, oh man, I don't want to have to go deal with this asshole ex-husband or whatever, it's going to be a big pain in the butt, and it's going to maybe take some time in court and have to cost a little money. Don't put those things off, because they will not go away, and they'll just come back in full force at some other future time that is even more inconvenient. I'm experiencing this right now. I'm moving today, ironically, to Las Vegas from here in beautiful San Diego. And just last night, my wife and I, we were in our storage unit, and we have some things in storage right now. And we were thinking, like, well, you know, we're going to come back to visit and stuff. Maybe we'll come back for this stuff. But I started getting this synchronicity that I always get when it's time to, like, get out of there fully. A spider. We saw like 17 spiders in random circumstances or random situations just yesterday. And to me, again, that's my symbol. Might mean nothing to you, but to me it was saying, this storage situation, it's done. Do not put this off. Tie up the loose ends. Even though it's going to be exhausting for your already exhausting trip to move, you should do it now, because it's best to do it now. Trust me. So I'm going to. In fact, last night we loaded up a whole bunch of stuff in storage, planning to come back. But after discussing these synchronicities we got, we're like, you know what? We're going to go back today and unload the storage unit and head off with just totally liberated, not having little ties in the past. Number 4 is a lot of times when there's these big energy waves, and I'll get more into details with this in tomorrow's update, because it is a phenomenally profound time. And I'm not embellishing it, I'm being legit here. This is a very serious time right now, like now, not just generally. Right now, it's a big, important time. Anyways, during these big, important times, when there's big manifestations kind of at stake, and there's a lot of different big life shifts kind of taking place all at once, you will feel usually, as you could probably assume, a little bit tired, a little bit scattered, maybe a little bit restless and unbalanced, and maybe you're not able to maintain your perfect meditation schedule, and you're eating out more than you'd like. Don't worry about it. So many people do their best to commit to healthy habits, and of course you should, but this ascension, this awakening process is so demanding and dynamic. There are some times it's just unrealistic to expect that perfect adherence from yourself. And that's okay. But a lot of people, they impose so much guilt. Like, oh my goodness, I had set out to do this certain thing every morning for a whole month. But now I'm moving randomly and I got a million things to do. And you know what? I missed it today. So what? It's fine. No guilt. You just have to kind of recognize the gravity, the grandness, how big of this, what this process really is. And there are times where you're just going to have to do your best with no guilt. You don't have to beat yourself up. There'll be a later time in the future where you can kind of settle in and get back into a rhythm. And that'll likely get disrupted again, because it's always coming in cycles. But you can kind of roll with it without those expectations, which are the only reason we can feel guilty and down on ourselves. So just play it cool. If you're busy, that's fine. It means you're moving forward fast. Lastly, man, things are just speeding up. There seems to be not in a fearful way, but more of a sense of urgency that it's really time now to be who we came to be, to do what you came to do. No more lollygagging, me included. It's getting time where I really believe that the awakening is going to start being way more obvious. We all came here knowing something big was on the horizon, that we came here for a purpose, and there's going to be a time when that reason is going to be more in our lap rather than a distant future. And I think there seems to be a push to really just let go of your typical human egoic sort of apprehensions, and even just kind of let it be and let go into the river of you, into the stream of you. Because the world needs people to embrace their real self and then to be an example. At the same time, those who allow themselves to do that are going to probably run up against resistance from friends and family and so forth, but that doesn't matter. You kind of came to do that. You came to be a shining example, and a shining example is going to stick out from the crowd, and sometimes the crowd doesn't care for the shining example because it sheds light upon the shortcomings of the crowd, but that's what you came to do. So be you now. It's time, and you know this. I'll get more into this whole theme tomorrow in the 11/11 update, which is going to be awesome, man. I'm very excited about that because a lot of cool things to share. This is more of the practical, sort of experiential things you might be going through right now due to this powerful energy now here on the planet, catalyzing just a tremendous amount of inner growth and transformation, which is going to start manifesting in your outward reality as well. So anyways, my friends, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for part 2 tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Namaste.